Okay, now let's talk about something that's extremely important because this is literally the beginning and the end of the whole process when you're buying the property and when you're selling the property. Choosing the correct title company. So, what is a title company? A title company is a group or an identity that is in charge of trespassing the property to you or from you free and clear from any issues, any problems on the property. And it's extremely important that you pick up a title company because the title company will make sure that there's no hidden liens on the property when you're buying it, that there's no hidden owners on the property that maybe possibly come back to you and say, why do you buy this property from this person when I'm also an owner? Now you have to pay me. So those are the scenarios that the title company avoids for you. They're the ones in charge of doing all the dirty work, the research on the properties to make sure that when you get the property, when you're buying the property, it's free and clear from any issues. There has been a lot of issues in the past where the properties are not warranted, which is what the title company does for you. They're not warranted. They do something called a quick claim deed, and the quick claim deed basically says it's basically a title transfer without insurance, without any guarantees that everything went right, that everything was well done. And the title company does a warranty deed. Basically, they did their research and they know for a fact the information is guaranteed. It's really accurate. Nothing will come back to you as the new owner on the property. So that's why you want to make sure that choosing the right title company is going to be ideal for you to be able to make business happen. Now, this is from the buying part, but when you're selling, same thing. You want to choose the title company that's going to help you sell the property because you already know them. They work very smoothly. They do all the correct work and they sell the property. They basically take the property to the end goal, which is selling it, transpassing it to a new buyer, or when you're the buyer, transpassing the property to you. You want to make sure that you have really good title company. You can, same thing, find them on Google locally. You can call them, interview them. How many properties have you sold this month? Have you closed on this month? How many investors do you work with? Okay, so you want to make sure everything, you want to get to know them. You want to get to know who's the team, who's the people in charge of doing the title research and so on. So it's important that you Google them locally because they have to be local to your area. This way, they'll be able to help you the best way possible and work in your behalf to represent you. Reputation and the experience. So these are two main things when you're looking for the companies. When you're researching for the reputation of the title company, look for reviews. Reviews are going to be extremely important because that's where you're going to be able to see how reputable they are. Okay, if you see a lot of bad reviews, you want to stay away from those. If you see great reviews like they work quickly, they do a great job, communication, they always answer the phone, that means that they're doing a really good job. Look for testimonials as well. Some of them do a really good job in marketing. If there's no marketing, don't even try them. Honestly, it's not worth it because the title company has to do a terrific job. You want to make sure that they actually do. So if they don't have the reviews, don't even chase them. Testimonials are extremely preferable. You may see them, you may not see them. You want to make sure that if there are any testimonials, take your time and look at them. It may be worth it. Okay, so make sure that you look at the testimonials if they have any. Some of them have Facebook pages, Instagram pages nowadays. So look at those, follow those, okay? Referrals from trusted sources such as realtors. So maybe if you're working with the realtor, who's the best title company or what's the best title company that you have worked with? Attorneys or friends who have recently gone through the closing process. So if you know other investors, ask them, hey, who are you using for your title company? Who are you working with for your title company to do your deals? So this is extremely important, okay? Because we're talking about reputation. You want to work with the best title company that has the best reputation. You don't want to work with the one that nobody knows because, again, you're taking your chances and you don't know what could go wrong. Make sure you pick the right company. Choose a company with substantial experience in handling real estate transactions. An established track record indicates their expertise and reliability in navigating the complexities of the closing process. This goes back to every single deal is completely different. You're not going to know what you may be able to find in these properties. And this is when you pick the right title company that they're going to be able to do a really good job on finding the right documents. Every property is going to be completely different. Okay. Every property is going to have a different history. Every property is going to have multiple buyers, sellers, maybe just one seller. So it's going to be different. Some of them might take a little longer depending on the scenario. So you want to make sure that you pick the one that has experience, because the one that has experience knows for a fact that every closing, it's always going to be different. It's always going to have something that's going to hold back the closing process a little bit longer. Now, for the most part, I'm talking about in the buying part. So when you're buying, most of these properties that you're buying that I'm telling you that you should go for are going to be off-market deals, pre-foreclosures, and so on. So these properties always have something going on. They're always going to have something strange, and the title company will make sure that they fix that so that when you sell the property, it's a completely smooth transaction. I have had in the past different properties, such as, for example, I was closing on one property, and right before the closing, the title company said, hey, you know what? There's something going on here, because apparently it turns out that I only had the signature of one of the sellers. The other seller was nowhere to be found. We did not know where to get them. The one seller did not want to share the information of the seller, so the property went on foreclosure. And that's because we needed both sellers or both owners to be able to sign on the deal. The reason why they need that is because you want to make sure that you get the property free and clear, warranted, making sure that you can sell the property with no issues, okay? So again, extremely important. Let's talk about the expertise and the services offered. Number one, consider the range of services offered by the title closing company. They should provide comprehensive title services, including title research, title insurance, escrow services, and accurate preparation and closing documents. This is most likely going to be the case. Escrow services basically is that you send the money over there, they hold the money, the safety deposit from you, or when you're selling the property, they hold the safety deposit from the potential buyer, and so on. Escrows services are really important. You can do more research on what they are, but basically, if you are doing, for example, a seller finance deal, and then you want to keep a really good track of the income that you're getting, you may want to use the escrow services, because that means they pay directly to the title company, and then the title company distributes the money to you, and there's a track record there. Same thing for when you're renting a property as well. So again, different scenarios, different things, services that they offer. You want to make sure that they offer. These are going to be the most important ones. Verify that the company employs experienced professionals such as title officers and escrow agents who have in-depth knowledge of the local laws and regulations governing the real estate transactions. When you go into the website of these professional title companies, they're going to have who is the main guy for this specific area, who's the main girl for this specific area. So just do history on it, okay? Because you want to know who you're working with, okay? You want to know who's doing the work for you on your behalf, who's representing you. Ensure that the company has thorough understanding of the specific type of transaction you're involved in, whenever it's residential, commercial, or investment opportunities. So they need to understand that you are a real estate investor, so that they know that every property is going to be completely different, that basically they are ready for anything that may come up with the properties that you bring to the table, okay? This is going to be really good, because they're going to know to carefully look at every scenario of the properties that you bring to them, okay? You want to make sure that they are experts in what they do. Communication and customer services. So choose a title company that emphasizes clear and prompt communication. One of the main things is when you call them, you have to call them. Take a note of how long they take to speak to you, making sure that they follow up with you. Just try them by giving them a call and see how they treat you, how they speak to you. This is extremely important, because you may be surprised on how many title companies don't have the right person up front to answer the phone. And if that person answering the phone is not a nice person, imagine how everybody else in the team is. So you want to make sure that you try them. You give them a call and see how they answer the phone to you. They should be responsive to your inquiries, provide regular updates on the process of the transactions, and address any concerns and questions that you may have. One of the things that I did when I was trying to look for title companies, I was giving them an address of a property going to foreclosure. And I was like, hey, I may have this property under contract for tomorrow. How long does it take for us to close? What's the process? I was just asking random questions to get an understanding of how they actually work. And I was calling multiple times to follow up, quote unquote, follow up, to make sure that they were actually answering all the questions that I had. If they were answering questions, just general questions, how long does it take? What if it's a pre-foreclosure? Can you guys help me pay on time? Who can I speak to about this property? Again, by them answering my questions in a timely manner, I knew that those were the right title companies. Now, one really cool thing for you to know is that the title company does not necessarily have to be local. If you're looking for properties like myself all over the state, you can have one title company because nowadays the closing can actually be somewhat virtual. Okay, you don't actually have to go to an office and show up anymore. You can actually just get the information from a mobile notary will actually go to your place, make sure you get the signatures and so on. Okay, so this is really good. This is really good because it gives you the opportunity to work with just one title company that you know they're the top and the best ones. Throughout my career, I worked with 4 different title companies, and I do have one that I love the most because they're just the fastest, their services are great, and they really do a great job on helping me close on most of the properties that I have brought to them. So again, you want to make sure that you work with the right title company. And how do you know? Is by their customer service. If their customer service is really good, that means the odds of them helping you the best way possible are high. If their customer service is terrible, just not even touch them in the first place. Okay, so um, finding the right title company is going to be based on communication and customer service. Fees and transparency. So inquire about the fees charged by the title company. So you want to ask them how much you guys charge for registration fees and document fees and so on. You want to ask that to make sure that they're giving you accurate numbers. Compare their pricing structure with other companies to ensure their offer is competitive rates. Basically, you want to charge how much you guys charge. What percentage do you guys charge for me to be able to buy and sell properties with you guys? Okay, you want to ask, and then of course you won't know the specific fees right now, but tell them to give you a breakdown of the fees over the phone. Take a note of what they are, and then call a different title company and see if they're the exact same. They should be the exact same because everybody should charge very similarly. Depends on the state, depends on the area, depends on the place, but you still want to do it either way. Look for a company that provides transparency and detailed information about their fees, including any potential additional charges on third-party fees involved in the closing process. Avoid any company that has hidden and unclear fees. This has happened to me in the past where it says like settlement fees, and I did not understand exactly what they were, and it turns out that they were actually nothing. Fees that shouldn't be there, and I was getting charged those fees left and right from one of the title companies I used to work with, and it cost me a couple thousands. Licensing and insurance. Verify that the title company holds the necessary licenses and certifications required by the state jurisdiction where property is located. This actually is pretty hard for you to verify. That's why you want to look at the reputation. That's why you want to see in the first place if it's a really good title company and they have great reviews. If it's a bad title company, most likely they don't have the proper licenses that they need. So I'm not going to ask you, hey, you need to know who works there by detail and what they do specifically. But they just have to have the right reputation because this is going to cover you. This is going to help you. This ensures that the company complies with the legal regulation requirements. There's a lot of people that needs to be working in a title company. It's not just a few people just noting down how much it's going to be. There should be attorneys there. There should be representatives. There should be closing agents. So reputation is going to be key. If the title company has a really good reputation, most likely they care about every single one of their clients, and they're doing everything that is required for the property to sell correctly and buy correctly, and that they are within requirements. So again, reputation is going to be key and extremely important for you to figure out whenever this is a good title company or not. Confirm that the title company carries errors and omissions insurance for other relevant insurance coverage. This is what I was telling you about the warranty deed. This is what I was telling you on how important it is for you to work with a title company that offers you a warranty or offers you, in a way, some sort of insurance that once you close, you won't be in any sort of trouble from the previous seller or previous sellers coming to you and say, hey, you know what, you forgot about this. There was a lien on the property and so on. Okay, so with the title company, ask who are you using for your to insure. Just read the documents so that you become a little bit more aware of the lingo. This is something that I cannot teach you because it's just so much information that you need the experts to be able to guide you through the steps. Okay, so again, verify that their experience, their customer services is top of the line. When you're working with top of the line people, they're going to be the right people. Okay, so go get it, get the right information, and start searching for title companies in your area and watch how the conversation goes. Listen very carefully and take a note of everything and everybody who you speak to.